Hey, how you doing? This is Ben Velding on the Banana Viking Server, and today I'm finally going to be taking down this last remnant of the original wheat farm. This is going to be my last of the daily updates on Banana Viking Server. Kind of for that reason, I I think I've really soldiered on through the worst of the lag, which is a combination of my personal connection and just working on a server. But it's become a little bit frustrating, especially whenever other Minecrafty issues get in the way. I think I spent uh, 20 minutes after Radomax died trying to get my shit back, and in the process of all of that, uh, some zombie pigmen wandered out of my nether gate, and they're just bebopping around. I'm like, yeah, fuck you guys, because I hate zombie pigmen, and whenever I can get away with it, I will attack them. So in the process of three of them being in the desert around that nether gate, I aggroed them, and I killed two of them, and I didn't realize the third one had walked back into the nether. So when I eventually did walk back into the nether with a new horse, I was cheap shotted by a zombie pigman. And I was told about this after I died because of all the lag that happens when you switch worlds into the nether. And that was kind of frustrating. And as I tried to go back for my equipment, first one way and then the other, um, the lag and the delay and the fact that no time passes in the nether whenever it passes in the overworld means that I was basically being spawn camped by a zombie pigman who eventually picked up my own diamond flaming sword and shot it at me. Which you can see I don't have anymore. I also lost the destroyer, so let's pour one out for the destroyer, the diamond efficiency 4 pickaxe that I barely used because it was so good. I didn't want to use it for like nothing. The thing melted netherrack. It was amazing, and I feel like I should sing that song, but I don't know the words. It's like an Enya song, but it's really sad. Like, who can say? But I don't know. Anyway, just pour one out. Pour a speed potion out for our homie, the Destroyer. Anyway, so that was incredibly frustrating, and I think I've made a lot of progress with this chunk build. I'm going to continue working on the chunk build, not weekly by any means. I'm sorry, not daily, perhaps weekly. We will see where the road takes us. I am ramping up the podcast. I'm producing the second podcast, so I'm not plugging them here. I'm just saying I've been busy. Oh man, I knocked down all the ways I have to get up there. Oh, let's just do it this way. So I'm going to continue hanging out with Geplin and Isix and Peter Taylor TX. Or, for season 2 of the server, and I'll just have fewer videos. I'm tempted to do morning perfect bases here, but there's this thing where I want to talk about stuff like, oh, what's happening, and there's always like some relevant topical thing. Like the rainforest is burning right now, like the one that makes oxygen and stores CO2. That's important. And I didn't expect that to be coming when Bolsonaro was elected president. It doesn't particularly surprise me. But, you don't want to talk about that every day. I don't want to talk about that from the hip. And that's why Morning Perfect Base exists. But there's always this convergence of topical and relevant and responsible that you seek to work towards. And it's what Morning Perfect Base is, and this is just me just chilling out, trying to say things with good diction and nice words and stuff. And yeah, so what about that Sony Spider-Man thing? This is the stupidest. I just don't get how people give this many shits about movies. Like, Sony and Marvel couldn't reach an agreement Like there is no good person in this fight here. I've heard a lot of people be like, "Oh, well, Disney's so rich, they should be screwing great." Like, well, I mean, fucking, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, what the specifics of the deal is, how deep they go, and who it's in favor of. If you know a guy who's like, "Oh yeah, no, my YouTube channel / podcast is 100% talking about movie deals and what basic norms are regarding movie deals," then I'm your guy. But I just cannot pick this motherfucker up, can I? You suck. You suck. Let me know, because I'd kind of be interested in maybe putting that on a list of things on the internet that I will pretend that I'm going to read and then I don't. So, hit me up. All right. So after all that goddamn aqueduct work, I gotta fucking... Let's be classy and do the trapdoors, okay? There we go. That looks like functional and shit. Oh, get in this. Because the deal is, these two, like, excuse me, thank you. All right. These stairs are actually going to be side by side with some acacia stairs. The deal is that this is the one time where the two paths are parallel, because this is going to form a boulevard of sorts. These chunks are also going to be over the little river that's being made here. It's all going to run down to be a river. It's going to straddle that chunk boundary and go all the way down. Might even cross another river. I'll cross that river when I get to it. So, but in the meantime, this is going to be a fusion of, gondola style. I think the actual, this is at 2. The original plan is spruce, oak, acacia, dark oak. But I can't do that here because I think I'm a little too far up. This is the second chunk. That correct 4-way fusion should happen 4 chunks down, right about there where that acacia tree is. Alright. So yeah. So I don't know who's getting boned over here, if it's Sony or Disney or whoever the fuck. And honestly, it doesn't even matter. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is fucking huge and they got plenty of guys, and I get no special joy from Spider-Man being in it because he's in there in the comics or something. Like, movies are their own fucking thing, if you didn't know. So, like, they're always just going to be toned down versions of the comic books. So kind of wanting the movies to be like the comic books based on some platonic version of these characters from your head is an exercise in disappointing yourself. So yeah, Spider-Man's not going to be in it. It's a fiscal exercise. You want them to be good. You want them to say something positive, but ultimately, they're just there to make people money. That's all they're there to do. And who's in what movie is based entirely on the finances of it. And it's completely irrational to expect Sony and Disney to act in any way counter to that. The best and perhaps hottest take I've seen is that these characters should have been public domain a long time ago. And fair point. Because, if you're saying, oh, these people are, just great. Oh, really? Really? We're doing that then. All right. Uh-huh. Alright, and use this to clear out the water. Then I gotta put the stairs down in the runoff, and that'll clear out the water. Okay. Learning the new water physics is a pain in the ass. This thing is helping me out, though. That thing could run all the way down my mind if it wasn't for this. So I'm glad I've got it in there. I took the torches out because I was trying to pick up one. Ah, fuck. Fuck me. Come on. Here you go, just waiting for a bus. Anyway, it has become frustrating to work with the lag on this. My realm isn't so bad, and I don't think it has anything to do with the Banana Viking server itself. I think it's just, I personally am on Wi-Fi. Can't drill holes into my house to not be on Wi-Fi. And, okay, it's not exactly what I had planned, but it's alright. So I think I'm always just going to have that lack of communication here between me and what I'm trying to do. Like, my realm is way better. If you watch Morning Perfect Base, you've seen how much better my realm is at this. If you'd excuse me, I'm not going to throw a million things into this freaking composter. So I can get a single, what do they give you? Bone meal. One bone meal. I'm not a guy much for auto clickers, but maybe the nature of composters is being efficient. Like, would it be bad if it was 6 to 1? Would that be terrible? Does it have to be 20, 24 to 1? It's pernicious, I think is the word I'm looking for. I think that's the second time I've been looking for the word pernicious. I'm pretty sure I was wrong both times. So yeah, it doesn't matter. If I'm glad that Marvel leaned as heavily on Spider-Man as they did, but basically he was in what, 2 movies, and he played a bit, 3 movies, he played a bit part in all of them, and then his own movies heavily loaned from the Marvel Universe, basically requiring that future Spider-Man movies be Marvel Universe stuff. So again, I didn't even watch the Andrew Garfield movies. I'm not a Spider-Man fan in general. I guess the point isn't Spider-Man specific. It is simply Spider-Man's a piece of American culture. It is weird that people own him. If you don't like what the people who own him do, maybe deal with it. And there's no larger relevance to a character being in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. As a guy who constantly makes fun of Daredevil for not being in the original Secret Wars, it doesn't matter if your character's in the big crossover or not. You're going to learn, if you haven't already, that's usually worse for a character to be in than not worse. Because, I mean, it's like, whose line is it anyway? Big comic book crossover things, the points are made up and nothing matters. And wanting your heroes to have irrelevant adventures just because they seem big is not any kind of... Do that? I thought it was the other way around. No, I guess so we can have the fences. That's fair. Oh, shit. Fuck me. Oh, also fuck me. Alright. It's too wide. Right, Chris. Every fucking time you forget about this design quirk you stuck in here. It's a good design quirk. I like it. It's 4, and then stairs up, and then 4. I just don't ascribe any importance to anything but good Spider-Man movies. I think good Spider-Man movies should be, like the goal and shit. So, are these fences going to fence into each other? I think it's fine. It's not ideal, but looks like Neapolitan ice cream. I mean that in a bad way. I do mean in a bad way. No good. Gonna put down some glass. Then I have to turn everything under this into that, so the two water bodies complement each other. And then this thing's going to come down, well, right there, right where those things are. You can see we're just flipping it. So yeah, I just, I don't see how you get worked up about it unless you have literally nothing of any value going on in your life. Like, there's not some big integrity to the story. These stories intentionally say absolutely nothing. They're big narratives where the hero restores the status quo. No one asks any tough questions. It's always like, oh, should I do the right thing? Oh yeah, you should do the right thing. What if the right thing is hard? Oh my god, what if the right thing is hard? Do it anyway. Oh my god, do it anyway. These things aren't deep, nor are they socially relevant. All they do, honestly, a big portion of my fandom of these things comes from the fact that I can then go into public and go, yeah, it's like this guy's the fucking Infinity Gauntlet now. People are like, oh yeah, the Infinity Gauntlet from that movie, the Infinity Gauntlet. And I'll be close enough. I'm just glad that we're speaking the same language, different dialect, but same language. It's great. Feels amazing. So that's all I get from these movies, and I think that's all I expect from these movies. Because people, if you're a comic books fan, you're like, oh, people will finally get these movies, get these stories the way I get these stories. They will not, because they're gonna, one, be working from a different version of those stories, made to be as bland and tasteless as possible. And let me tell you, the comics versions themselves generally tend to be a little bland and tasteless. So, like, that's not. Let's use some longs. That's not some small feat in and of itself. But then, just the way people interpret this. I swear to God, in 2012, a woman described the Avengers movie to me as that movie with all those guys. And honestly, it's not like, oh, she doesn't like Marvel movies enough. It's just like, that's how people process shit, man. People cannot, like, you think it's a joke, but people cannot tell the difference between Green Lantern and fucking Booster Gold. Only one of those guys has a movie. Actually, you know what? Despite the slight disdain I have for Green Lantern fans, let's just say neither of those guys has a movie. But, if they were literal superheroes, people would still not be able to tell them apart. Because people just don't process things that way. These little details and shit don't matter to most people the way they might matter to comic book nerds. What have I done? Why have I done? Alright, actually we're just gonna let that simmer. And we are gonna go for more stairs. I'm not actually fucking sure how I ran out of fences here. It's like I didn't have fences on the original build. Weird. I have 3 acacia fences. If you know, please email me at Twitter at fucking acacia fences. Alright, let's fucking do this shit. Okay. So don't care about this. Let's slap some dirt down here for filler. And then we are going to do... Oh, that is not the right one. That's wrong. Oh. So yeah, my next game is going to be like Hero Guardians or whatever. Hero Generations, I think. I've got a couple of games that I can look at and be like, yeah, I can play that on on the reg. Or a couple times a week. And it won't make me want to explode something in hate because it lags out every 2 minutes. I mean, Minecraft is an option. But at this rate, honestly, like 100% of my stalling for making more Minecraft is... Is this 2? No, it's 3. Are you fucking kidding me? 3. Fuck me. You have like a brace in here? Like 3. You go back 2. Get up the extra. Huh, not a problem I've had before. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna preserve the symmetry around the gazebos. Means this one's gonna be 4, and then the next one's gonna be 6. And that'll have to be good enough. Hero Generations was on the short list, which is okay. It's interesting. I'm still debating it simply because all the pairings so far are straight pairings, and it's like, how is this even? Like, usually, like, the deal is you only have ever so many years to live, and you're an adventurer, and every square takes 1 year, and eventually you have to settle down and find a mate. And that's how you have the next generation, and if you die without settling down and having a mate, then it's game over. And, that has a lot of things in common with Dead Parents Dungeon, as pitched. And I kind of liked that, but it's very... has a lot of assumptions. They obviously didn't want any straight people to have to play as gay, which alone is enough for me to not give a shit about it. And the gameplay's mediocre and it's not incredibly compelling. I may do a video just to yell at it. Slay the Spire is always on the table. I won't fucking shut up about that game, so it's a marvel that it's not the default frontrunner. It's just that it takes a little bit of braining. And also I've become aware that some people are very, very good at Indeed. And, the solution to that is for me to become better, is for me to get good. And That's a reasonable solution. I just don't know if I'm going to be doing that while I'm yakking my fucking head off every day. And then I'm doing 20-minute videos, so that means that I'm not even going to get in a full run for every video. It's going to be like one run a week, basically. And this seems like kind of a half measure. City Skylines, which is horrible and kills my computer, and me trying to record that would be an exercise in frustration and bullshit. But I can do it every day. Stays consistent, has a storyline. I think there's some kind of mecha game I have, which may not be exactly great for the format, but it's a mecha game. Alright. I think I got the basics of this down. I gotta get another fence post, because I don't have one for some reason. I really have no goddamn clue why I don't have more acacia fences. I don't think, did I go into my barrel and get extra acacia fences, and that's why I had an odd number? I don't know. Torches, lanterns, torches. Alright, so you know what, that's gonna be good for the day. I got to do something about this. I don't even know. Because I definitely, I mean, I'm not in love with this, but you know, it's what was designed on paper, and it's not bad. Did I not put fences here? Alright, fine. I'm gonna do these 2 fences and call it a day. Of course, you don't have to go to it. Yeah. Make a trapdoor. Make a trapdoor. There we go. So we'll see what's up. Again, this has been fun, and despite all of the mistakes I've made, I've noticed those mistakes while making this video. So I've learned a lot, even if I'm not always doing the things I shouldn't do. But we'll see what's up, and I'll see you later.